Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Muhammad Ibrahim A'la from Chemistry A class who will take the exam by answering orally. First question. What is the history of the Spanish conquest? How has Islamic civilization progressed in Spain? And explain the reasons for the fall of Islamic rule in Spain. The Spanish conquest Andalusia began in 711 AD by the Umayyad Caliphate led by Tariq bin Ziyad, followed by Musa bin Nusayr. In a short time, almost the entire Iberian Peninsula was conquered due to the weakness of the divided and unpopular Visigothic Empire. For more than 7 centuries, Islamic civilization in Spain, Al-Andalus, reached the peak of intellectual glory, becoming a center of science, philosophy, medicine, with scientists such as Ibn Rus, economic, as agriculture, trade, advanced industry, and a pluralistic social and cultural one. This civilization also became an important bridge in the revival of Europe Renaissance. However, Islamic rule in Spain eventually collapsed due to internal factors such as political divisions, the emergence of many small kingdoms of or taifa, an obscure system of caliphate succession that fueled conflict and socio-economic chaos. On the other hand, external factors in the form of continuous attack from Christian force, Reconquista, culminating in the fall of Granada in 1492 AD, plus support from Western Europe helped accelerate the fall of Islamic rule in Spain. Next question. Do you agree if there are historians or people who say that Islam is imperialist or colonialist, especially in the spreading its power? Explain your argument and as to why you agree or disagree. I don't entirely agree if Islam is referred to as imperialist in the same sense as Western-style imperialism, especially modern colonialism, which focus on cultural exploitation and oppression. Although the early expansion of Islam did involve military conquest and expansion of power, its motivation, character, and impact on conquered population were often different. Rather than using the label imperialist, which is laden with negative connotation from the era of colonialism, it is more appropriate to see the expansion of Islam as process of the formation of empire to or great civilization that, like many other historical entities, involves the expansion of territory and consolidation of power. This expansion is driven by a combination of religious, political, and social factors, and often result in a progressive and inclusive civilization for many groups. Next question. Ottoman Turkey was the one of the three great empires left during the times of the Islamic Caliphate. Why did Kemal Atatürk change the imperial system of Ottoman Turkey to the Republic of Turkey? What is the concept of westernization proposed by Kemal Atatürk? Do you agree with westernization pattern carried out by Kemal Atatürk? Why do you agree or disagree? Mustafa Kemal Atatürk changed the Ottoman Empire to the Turkish Republic because he saw the Ottoman as too weak after World War I and wanted to end foreign dependence. His vision was to build Turkey as a modern, secular, and developed nation state, believing that the caliphate system was absolute and hindering progress. The concept of westernization that he applied was a radical program to adopt Western values and institutions, including the separation of religion from the state, secularism, such as the abolition of the caliphate and the replacement of Islamic law with civil law, as well as cultural reforms such as the replacement of letters and style of dress. While his intention to advance Turkey is commendable, I don't entirely agree with his pattern of westernization. His approach is too radical and imposing, risks eliminating and the strong cultural and religious identity of Turkish society, as well as creating social shock and authoritarian impressions. For me, modern is important, but it should be done with local context in mind and not forcibly uprooting cultural roots. Next question. Explain some theories that explain the entry of Islam in Indonesia. Also explain the strategy of the Wali Songo in pressing Islam in Indonesia. There are several main theories regarding when and where Islam entered in Indonesia. The first of the theory is the Gujarat or India theory. This theory states that Islam entered Indonesia in the 13th century AD through Muslim trades from Gujarat, India. The supporting evidence is the discovery of the tombstones of Sultan Malik As-Saleh, the first king of Samudra Pasai, and Maulana Malik Ibrahim, which have a similar style to tombstone in Gujarat. The second of the theory is a Persian theory. This theory argues that Islam entered in Indonesia in the 7th century AD and was brought by the Shiites from Persia. Evidence supporting this theory is the similarity of religious tradition and ceremonies in some regions in Indonesia. For example, the Tabat celebration in Bengkulu with Persian tradition. The third theory is a Arab or Mecca theory. This theory believes that Islam entered Indonesia earlier in the 7th century AD, directly from Arabia or Mecca, through trades and scholars. Supporters of this theory include Hamka, who argues that the title Al-Malik used by the king of Samudra Pasai came from Egypt, one of the centers of Islam at the time. And the last theory is Chinese theory. This theory states that Islam entered Indonesia through trade routes from China, mainly brought by Chinese Muslim trade. Wali Songo's dakwah strategy. The Wali Songo spread Islam in the archipelago, particularly Java, with a smart and peaceful approach, focusing on cultural acculturation and persuasion. Their main strategies include the first, utilization of art and culture. They adapted and inserted Islamic teaching into traditional arts such as wayang, gamelan, and Javanese song. This made Islam easy to accept without offending the old belief. The second, education through Islamic boarding schools. The Wali Songo established pesantren as centers of religious education and nurses for future priests, accelerating in spirit of Islamic knowledge. The third, trade routes. The Wali Songo preached through interaction in the centers, building good relationship with local communities. The fourth, marriage. The strengthened in the flames of Islam by marrying of scholar or descendants of saints to noble families or local public figures. Next, exemplary and social welfare. The Wali Songo demonstrate noble morals and were active in social activities to increases public sympathy and trust. In short, the Wali Songo succeeds in Islamic Java with an approach that was inclusive, peaceful, and highly adaptive to local wisdom, making Islam easily accepted and rapidly growing. The last one, about the influence of Western imperialism on Islamic civilization and its effort to erase its trace. Western imperialism had a profound impact on Islamic civilization, causing political disintegration by dividing Islamic territories into small, easily subjugated states, as well as detrimental economic exploitation. Socially and culturally, there has been forced westernization through education and secular law, which erodes Islamic identity and triggers a crisis of confidence. Western effort to erase Islamic civilization do not mean physical disappearance, but rather through marginalization and reinterpretation of history. This is done through Orientalism, the study of portraying Islam negatively and underestimating its contribution. In addition, the control of historical narrative in the colonial education system and the weakening of traditional Islamic educational institutions also played a role in sinking the glory of Islam's past. In short, Western imperialism not only changed the physical structure of the Muslim world, but also shaped a global perception that underestimates the important role of Islamic civilization. That's all my answer, more or less. I apologize. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.